to write a conclusion and ensures that your position is clear throughout the whole essay. And again, some of you might be saying, but I don't know how to paraphrase. If you don't know how to paraphrase yet, you're not ready to get the score that you really want yet. You will get there eventually, but saying, I want a high IELTS score, but I don't want to paraphrase. That's like me saying, I want to buy a Ferrari, but I don't want to spend any money. What you want and the price that you have to pay, you have to pay a price for everything you want. That price could be money. Like if I want a Ferrari, I have to pay money. For you guys, the what you want is a high IELTS score. The price that you have to pay is work and effort and sometimes money by seeking out someone who can show you exactly what to do. There's a price to be paid for everything. Summary of main ideas. Someone should be able to read your conclusion only and tell you what your main ideas are. So somebody should be able to look at your writing, your essay, ignore the introduction, ignore the main body paragraphs, and just focus on the conclusion and tell you exactly what you just wrote about, exactly what your main points are, exactly what your whole essay is about. Again, don't worry about repeating your main ideas, but you just paraphrase. You must paraphrase. This will make the conclusion easy to write and ensure you summarize your main ideas. So here's a demonstration of that. Okay, so here is my introduction. Robotics increasingly play a role both in the home and the workplace. So that was the question being paraphrased. Okay, that was the very first sentence. This is occurring because of advancements in technology. So that is my opinion plus my main idea. This is occurring because of advancements in technology. That's my position on the first question, and that's my main idea also. And it should be seen as a positive development, that is my opinion, because it reduces a person's workload. That's my main idea. So what the question is about, my position on it, my main ideas are all in the introduction. Now we need to just take this and we need to create a conclusion. Let's see how we've done this. In conclusion, machines carry out tasks for us due to the fact that engineers and computer scientists are pushing the boundaries of science and engineering. And these innovations should be welcomed because they emancipate humankind from routine toil. I used a lot of really high-level vocabulary in there, guys, because many of you were asking for this and saying that the stuff that I was writing was too simple. Another reason why I don't use like really high-level vocabulary is it makes it really difficult for you guys to understand it. Many of you might be looking at this and going like, routine toil? Emancipate? What does that mean? I mean, this is way beyond a band 9. You do not need to use vocabulary at this level. But for you guys that are complaining that my work is too simple, there you go. Always check the question again. So you should be going back to the question. You should be thinking about the question. You should be thinking about your introduction. Does it match up? Does it answer the question? Then your conclusion. Okay, does it match up with the question? Does it match up with the introduction? Does it mean the same thing? And then you're done. Remember, the examiner should be able to look at your conclusion only and understand that you've understood the question, that you have a clear position, and what your main ideas are to support that position. Do that, and you'll write an excellent conclusion. But that's not the end of your journey. You need to proofread. Why do you need to proofread? Number one, everyone makes mistakes, guys. Everyone. Every single time I write an essay, I make mistakes. Every single time I do a lesson like this one, I make mistakes. I have to proofread it. Every single person on planet Earth has to proofread. So if Oxford professors or Cambridge professors need to proofread, then you probably need to do that too. I make crucial errors every single time I write something. You make multiple crucial errors in multiple sentences every time you write. This is not I'll do this if I have time. This is not an option. It's an absolute necessity. You need to do this if you're going to get a high score. So how to proofread? You should proofread 3 times. Once at the end of each sentence, then once again at the end of each paragraph, and then once again at the end of each essay. So when you write your sentence, full stop, read it. Is it grammatically correct? Is the vocabulary correct? That's what you should be asking yourself. We're going to talk about all the other things you need to worry about at the end. That's what you should be thinking about. Then once you finish your paragraph, skip a line and look back at your paragraph. How's my grammar? How's my vocabulary? Does it make sense? Then at the end of your whole essay, read it all again, check it all again. So many of you might be thinking, I don't have time to do this, Chris. I barely get, you said that I have to, plan everything, then write everything, then check everything, then proofread at the end. I just don't have time to do this. Unless you have time to do this, you won't be able to get the score you need. You're not going to be able to do this through time management tips or time management techniques or anything like that. Have a look at this. Look at the guys. Look at the behind Usain Bolt. Look at how bad these guys are at time management. All right, so do these guys need time management tips, or do they need to run a bit faster? This is exactly like, this is someone getting a band 9, and this is everybody getting 6.5. You do not need to work on your time management. You need to work on your grammar, your vocabulary, your task response, your coherence and your cohesion. You need to work on task 1, you need to work on task 2, you need to work on introductions, main body paragraphs, conclusions, planning, proofreading, all of these things. Once you master all of these things, you'll be like Usain Bolt. Until you master all those things, you'll be like these guys, struggling to catch up. Is this impossible? No, it's not impossible. As you've seen, all the results that I just showed you, every single one of those people that are celebrating today that because they got the results that they needed, all of those people were in exactly the same position as you are today. They had the same fears, they had the same doubts, but the difference between them and all of the people today who failed is they actually took action and improved themselves. So how are you going to proofread? As with everything I teach, you should be thinking of one thing and one thing only. What does the examiner want? You should only be looking for mistakes that the examiner will pick up on. As with everything I teach, you should also be thinking strategically. Focus on your areas of weakness and get proper feedback on your work. So we've had lots of students over the years, and every student is different. Everyone has different strengths and weaknesses. Some students might really need work on articles, another on prepositions, another on tenses, another on vocabulary collocations, another on spelling, another on introductions, another, and any combination of those things. Becoming aware of the main reasons why you are getting 6 or 6.5 and not getting the score that you need is the most important first step to proofreading your essay. Because if you don't understand those things, you don't really know what you're looking for. If you have an expert giving you feedback on your writing, you know the things, because they'll constantly, like when I send back essays to our VIP students, is just a sea of red. They just see red everywhere. Fix this, do this, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. And that's not me being overly critical. It's just to be honest with them and open with them and show them these are the things you need to improve. And then when they're in the real exam, they'll be looking out for those things. So here are some of the things that you should be looking at when you're proofreading. Word count. Did you go over the word count? Did you answer the question? Is your message clear? Is it how you answered the question? What you think about the question? Your position? Is it clear? Are your points consistent? In other words, does your introduction, main body paragraphs, and conclusion, do they match up? Is your position clear throughout the essay? Did you develop your main ideas, or do you just have lots of ideas that are undeveloped? How's your grammar range and accuracy? How's your vocabulary range and accuracy? How did you use cohesive devices? How's your paragraphing? These are just some of the things that you should be thinking about. These things should be at the top of your mind, so what you're actually thinking about when you're preparing, when you're practicing, when you're planning, when you're writing, when you're proofreading. So it's not, proofreading starts, months before you even think about booking your test, because you want to minimize the amount of proofreading you have to do, and you do that by starting today, by preparing properly. And then when you're practicing, think about your weaknesses. When you're planning on exam day, think about the things that you need to do. When you're writing, think about how do I give the examiner exactly what he or she wants. And then when you're proofreading, your proofreading's easy, guys, because you're just looking at it and going, okay, just checking off. I know that I've prepared properly, and I practiced, and I've got feedback on my work, and I know exactly what to do, and yeah, good. I'm going to get the score that I need, move on with my life, and forget about Chris Pell and IELTS and all this silly stuff, so that you can just, move on with your life and get over this obstacle, and leave me to worry about IELTS. All right, guys, so this is your turn to put into practice everything you've learned this week. Artificial intelligence will soon replace teachers in the classroom. Do you agree with this statement? What is an alternative to traditional face-to-face teaching? Write the whole essay using everything you've learned to write a Band 7 essay. Hello and welcome to the final lesson of IELTS Essay Builder. Well done for making it this far. And what we're going to do is give you your final feedback and do this through a live demo. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do a full demo lesson. So what I'll do is I'll share my screen and I will do the question myself. And what I'll do is I will take you through how I would think about the question, how I would think about writing it, and write it live on the screen for you. So this will bring together all of the things that we have learned throughout this course, and so that you can learn from it and compare your own writing and compare your own thinking. Also, what we'll do is we'll talk about how to take things to the next level. We do have a very small number of places available on our VIP course, and I'll tell you a little bit about that at the end of this video. Okay, so